Do you feel obligated? Like you have to do certain things, that you're forced to get certain results, and that if you don't achieve a goal, then you're not good enough? Maybe you feel pressured. Maybe you feel like the consequences of you not doing certain things are too grandiose, and so you just do what you're told. Are you following somebody else's directions or society's values in terms of who you should be and what you should do and what choices you should make? Look, there are very few things in life that are truly involuntary, and even the ones that we say or claim are, we could stop surviving if we really wanted to. A human being has that choice. Now, I would encourage you not to make that one. However, with everything else, really, you can choose. You can choose whether or not you want to do what you're doing. You don't have to do anything. You might feel obligated and someone might pressure you, but that doesn't mean that you can't deal with the consequences that follow if you don't do what they say. See, so many times we get pressured into thinking we have to get married, we have to have children, we have to go to school, we have to do all these things, and if we don't, then we're a failure. And this type of brainwashing in mainstream society makes most people miserable because they're not following their heart, they're not doing what they love, they're just doing what they're supposed to do. And it's misery. Now, we're in a time where we really have free will and we can choose. Yet, we still mostly make decisions based on pleasing our parents or the people around us or fitting in. And it's just terrible. See, at the end of the day, the only person that you have to face is yourself. If you're not living up to your own standards, your own goals, your own dreams, if you're not pursuing any of that, you're going to end up miserable. It doesn't matter how much validation you get. It doesn't matter how many different activities you do that release dopamine. It doesn't matter how much delicious food you eat. There's no way to fill that gap that happens inside a human being when they're not in alignment with their true purpose and goals and aspirations. So if you're right now somebody who's following, this standard or these rules or these expectations that other people have put on you, please take a good look at whether or not it's working out in your favor. If you're trying to make somebody else proud, maybe consider stopping. I'm not saying that you shouldn't make your parents proud. I'm not saying that you shouldn't make other people around you proud or that you should never fit into society and just be a rebel. However, is it authentic to you? Is it real to you? Does it feel like this is who you truly are and this is what you truly want to do and you're making a choice? Because if so, great, do it. If it aligns, perfect. But if it doesn't, you're going to feel empty inside. And that feeling cannot be filled with anything else. No amount of drugs or alcohol or anything can fix that. So if you want to avoid the path of misery, the best thing that you could possibly do is take the pressure off yourself. If you feel like you have to do something, don't do it, or at least say to yourself, I'm not going to, and just see how that feels. How does it feel in your body? If you feel relieved, if you feel light and energized, as if, you released a heavy backpack, then chances are, probably, you should be headed in the opposite direction. Don't go down the route where you feel so heavy and dense and your mind is always thinking. That heavy feeling is a sign from your body trying to tell you, your intuition really just going crazy saying, hey, no, that's not the one. Don't do that. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be fulfilled. You're miserable. Let me tell you nice and early. And yet, so many times we just medicate over that. We take a pill or we drink or we do anything to forget about that feeling. And then we just keep going down this path and going down this path. And you could get stuck in this loop for the rest of your life. There's so many people that are living out that pattern forever. That's their whole entire experience of being a human being. It's doing things that they feel like they have to do so that they can then make themselves feel better on the weekend. It's like, what? Come on. human being, infinite potential, all this energy, all this power that you have within you. Let's use it. Let's really tap into that and follow what really empowers you, even if it's scary, even if it's not safe. Look, I took a leap of faith. I traveled to a different country as an exchange student. That was my first leap. Then, I got into a relationship with somebody, and that was a leap of faith. And then I quit school. I thought I had to go to school. That was the only way, I thought. And when I was 18, I dropped out. And then I built a 6-figure business pretty much in less than a year doing what I loved. So you can be successful not following this beaten down path. And I'm sure a lot of you know that, but are you trying? Are you trying to get off that path? Are you still following this standard, this idea of how it should be, or trying to make somebody else proud? Because if you are, I guarantee you, it's not going to get any better. When you get that house or that car, or you finally have kids, that's not going to fix the relationship. It's not going to fix your happiness level. Temporarily, you might feel a little better, but that will pass. And then you're right back to where you were. Right back to that negative, dark pit. And you just feel like garbage. That's not fun. That's not a good experience. And why would you do that to yourself when you have the choice? So make the choice to step outside. And even if you're putting the pressure on yourself, let's say nobody else is trying to guilt you or make you feel bad or steer you in any direction. Maybe you're telling yourself, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. Well, let's take that off for a second and say, well, what do you want to do? If you could do anything, what would you do? Maybe drop it in the comments down below. Share it with everyone. What do you want to do? If there was no have to, if there was no obligation, what would you pursue? And there's probably a way for you to do that. Imagine. It's something that could be a reality down the line. Of course, it takes work and effort. It's not like I just woke up and then my business was built and everything was good and I had everything. No, a lot of work. I made daily content for a year. I built a brand. I paid for infinite advertising. How much work and effort and planning and strategy, and then paying for coaching and trying to understand internet marketing and all of these things, and finally a breakthrough, right? So for years you might struggle, but at least you'll struggle doing something you love. And there's a huge difference between struggling at something that you hate, that's miserable for you, you have to drug yourself just to feel good, and then there's struggling at something that you love, because then the struggle is fun. The whole journey is enjoyable. Don't pick something where you like the end result or you think the end result is going to make you happy. Pick something where along the journey, you're already happy. You don't need the end result. See, I don't need to be the most famous speaker or the best coach or anything like that. Of course, it's great. I'm working towards those goals. Fantastic. But even if I never got there, if I don't leave the greatest legacy, that's not going to upset me because I love the journey so much. It's already fun. I already got what I wanted out of it. It's the fun every day of engaging and doing what I love doing, working with people, having incredible clients and relationships, and seeing people break through. That for me is the ultimate, most rewarding experience that I can have. And so that's what I choose to do. Now, I might feel obligated to do certain things. I'm going to take the pressure off and say, I don't have to do those things. If I want to, great. If not, maybe I can delegate. Maybe there's another way around it. So think outside the box. Don't get trapped in your mind, because it was always in a loop for me, where I was constantly just trying to look for a solution, a quick fix. And when I dropped all of that and I just said, let me take it day by day, follow what I really want, it changed my life. And I know for certain it'll change yours too.